Well, howdy. Well, I decided to do something I haven't done before, and I think you might enjoy it. I mean, if you're really into... I'm a collector. I collect all kinds of things. At one time or another, I was into collecting... When a kid, I was collecting rocks and shells. Later on, I collected stamps and coins. Then it was rare books. Not first editions, but I mean really rare old books like 16th and 17th century. And three 15th century books. That's expensive. Well, I found something a little less expensive, but just as obscure. I collect guns now. And mostly I collect things that interest me, like, well, I'm into black powder stuff, old black powder revolvers, or flintlocks. There's a brown Bess up on the wall there. Things like my great-granddad's Craig Jorgensen up there. You know, things like that. But one thing that really sparked my interest was turn of the 20th century, what I call pocket guns today. All started in 1900 when John Moses Browning decided to market his first slide-operated pistol, which was the Browning automatic, in this new cartridge that he also developed called 32 ACP, or Automatic Colt Pistol. In Europe, it's called 7.65 Browning. And anyway, I collect them. And if you look down here, this is my whole collection, something I've never done before. Let me go through them. And now, please respect my old memory, because it might be a little bit faulty in some respects. So that's what the comment section's for. Just if I make a mistake, you can tell people about it there and show that you're much smarter than an old hillbilly like me. Starting over here, this is a 1903 Colt Pocket Hammerless, also by Browning. The next one here is a 35 Smith & Wesson. It was designed in basically 32 auto, but it was a proprietary 32 auto that had a jacket on it and a lead nose, and was said to be a much more powerful and much more cool new version of the 32 auto that Smith & Wesson was betting the bank on, and it went nowhere. Next, we have a 1907 Savage. This was the product of Arthur Savage, who was actually in the market to make the first 1911 military pistol. His company lost, but the process of making that and getting tooled up for it left him open to the civilian pocket pistol market, so he marketed this thing and made a cool fortune off of it, by the way. This is a variant of it called the 1917. This was, I think, the last major variant. There was also a 1915 in between. I don't have that one. There's a book on Savages, well worth reading. This is a Sauer und Schul pocket pistol. I think it's 1913, 32 auto. Sauer is the Sauer of Sig Sauer later, but this was before the Sauer, the Sig thing, when they were still a German company. And Sauer it was Sauer and Son in Schul, which is Sauer, I think, Sauer und Schun und Schul, I think. I don't speak German. My ex-wife did, but I don't. This is a Warner Infallible. It's another American gun made by the Warner, and I think it was Warner and Davis Corporation of New York for the... Warner ran a hardware store in New York City, and he was looking for products to stock in it. And he got the copyright or the patent to this thing so he could market it. The last one over here is a Mauser HSC, which is the cool, almost James Bondish gun. Though James Bond actually was more, more into this. That's a Walther PPK, shaken, not stirred. This is a 1907 Dreisa, which is an interesting little pocket pistol that they had to use this system of a, oh gosh, these are so tight. This thing, it's not exactly a slide. That's because at the time, FN and Browning held the patent on the slide. So as I said, a PPK, oh, this is not a, what did I say? This is the Mauser, no, that's Sauer und Schul. This is the Mauser model 1913 or 14. I forget. It's got the, yeah, the 34 had a bit of a hump here. So it's a 13 or 14. This is a Ortgies, which was a brand that sort of was made in contravention to the Versailles Treaty, but they had to do something, otherwise they were going to go broke. So that's what they did. Here we have an FN model 1922, which was, again, an attempt. I think this is actually based on the Petter system. I'm not really sure. But it was a well-liked pistol, including by the Nazis. When they took over the FN plant, they had them continue making this, and the Luftwaffe had pilots who usually carried one of these things. Oh, wait a minute. That's this one, not this one. This one is the FN 1922. This is a MOB. I forget. Manufacture d'Armes de Bruges? I forget what the B on MOB stands for. This is the French pistol after 1935. They were using the FN 35 in 7.65 French long before this, and then they went to 32 ACP. Then the FN 1922. I'm looking at them upside down too. That's my excuse, and I'll stick to it. And this is a CZ70, a Czechoslovakian pistol. So there is my entire lineup of 32 autos. I don't have any others in this particular caliber. I have many, many more on my want list. I would love to have the precursor to the Warner down here because he used to market a German brand called the Schwarzlose. Ian McCollum has one of those. They're rarer than rooster eggs, but they're a lust-worthy pistol. They're not a blowback. Every one of these is a blowback, except the Schwarzlose, which I mentioned, which was a blow forward. Yes, a blow forward. I also would love to get a Frommer Stop, a Hungarian pistol that is a locked breech and is the only long recoil pistol I know of that was in a commercial market. Pretty darn cool thing, by the way. But these are all blowback, every one of them. Different systems. Well, these two here, they call it hesitation blowback because they have a rotating barrel, sort of. A fellow by the name of Cyril invented that. But the rest of them, it's just straight blowback. And some of them are really, well, as I said, some of them have a really weird system. The 35 Smith & Wesson is so has such a hard spring, you have to disengage it to actually move the slide. It's just a weird one. Anyway, 32 ACP, turn of the century or the 20th century, pocket guns, and it appealed to my gadget factor.